So there he is again, there's Hogger, and the sensible pick here from Power of Creation would be Reckless Rocketeer. That would be 10 damage, plus 2 from the Owl, plus 1 from the Hero Power, 13 damage. We could set him down to 1 health, and then we could have pinged him off the following turn. But this is much more fun. This is much better. Hogger lethals are always more exciting. And he's a mech hunter who has run out of steam, pretty much. And unfortunately, I mean, that Mossy Horror did some work. But it's all for nothing. That Mossy Horror was played for nothing. That Mossy Horror will die for nothing. Because those taunts from Hogger, they're coming back. And unless he has Deathwing in hand, he's just dead.
Ooh, I wonder what this does.
And that has to be the saddest Leroy ever. Killing a 2-2. Feels bad, man. Feels really, really bad. Lethal from Hogger. Feels pretty amazing. Okay, so today I'm playing Benice92's Khadgar Mage on Standard. If you've been following my channel recently, you'll notice that I've developed a bit of an obsession with Khadgar. I think it's such an amazing card, and I'm having so much fun playing him. A couple of weeks back I played Kolento's Mage with Khadgar, very similar to this deck. The difference being that this deck here I think is a little bit more refined. So for example, this deck plays Alexstrasza, the Kolento deck did not. So why play Alexstrasza in this deck? Well, quite often you can develop big threats onto the board with this deck quite early. Mountain Giants, Twilight Drakes. The threats that come down from Power of Creation and Conjurer's Calling can be quite substantial, quite big in size. And so if you have a board of big threats, play Alex on 9 and you may find yourself with an unexpected lethal after setting their health to 15. So Alex has an interesting place in this deck. You've also got double Mind Control tech, and those two copies of MC Tech in this deck can really swing games back into your favour. You will often be in a situation where you're going toe-to-toe with an aggressive deck and you're trading back and forth trying to buy tempo, but they're too aggressive for you. They're able to develop a wider board presence early, and MC Tech can help to balance things out because you don't run any significant AoE in this deck. Sure, Dragonmaw Scorcher is a little bit of AoE. You may be able to discover something from the Witch Doctor, but generally speaking, this is a minion-heavy deck. And when you're going up against a deck that can get out threats faster than you, MC Tech can help to create a little bit of balance. So, let's have a look at the deck in action on the Standard Mode ladder. And we're starting out here against a Warrior. Now, a slow start for both of us here. Nothing for me to do, nothing for him to do. Armour up, ping, and the cycle continues. However, that is something we need to kill, and we need to kill straight away. So the Scale Worm there, doing a little bit of work for us. So we could make a trade, or we could go face and play Conjurer's Calling. I prefer to play Conjurer's Calling here, because it does crazy things like this. Houndmaster Shaw.
That's incredible.
That is actually disgusting. It's actually disgusting because now if he stays alive, we can play a giant that gets rush. That's insane. But I think the priority here is to remove that weapon.
Fresh meat.
So the ooze has to be the play. And we'll play an MC tech.
Mental dislocator.
We could have played the other copy of Conjurer's Calling on the ooze, but this is fine. We want to save Conjurer's Calling for a giant, I think. So yeah, he's a rush warrior, but I'm a rush deck too. I've got Houndmaster Shaw.
Defend the gates.
And defend the gates. It's not going to kill Shaw. It's not enough. But the trade there shows you just how much he feels threatened by Houndmaster Shaw. It's really interesting. Oh, another Conjurer's Calling. So maybe we need to protect Shaw at all costs here. Ooh, pretty good. And he's nearly dead. He is nearly dead on turn 7. Feels pretty amazing. Okay, that's unfortunate. But it's his entire turn. It's his entire turn. And we just develop more threats. Splitting image seems reasonable. And his best response is Dr. Boom. That's not going to be anywhere near enough for him. There's 11 damage coming his way. 10 from the board, 1 from the ping. Wow, double shield slam just to kill one giant. Oh, that's really sad. I feel for him, I really do. And we've got some choices here. But I think the giant seems fine. Yeah, a giant into 2/7/8 taunts. Not broken at all. Not broken at all. And we did that for 3 cost. And we can do it again next turn. I'm not sure what he can discover here that's going to save him. That's certainly not going to save him. All it does is buy him a little bit more time. Oh, there's Khadgar. However, I don't think we go all in with Khadgar here. Because we have to be afraid of Brawl. So we just take things slow. We don't even play Conjurer's Calling. We'll see what he's going to commit to deal with this board.
Defend the gates.
Okay, so light the fuses and defend the gates.
That's incredible.
is not enough.
I give up.
Yeah. That's pretty insane. The value that we got from Conjurer's Calling there in that game. Alright, our next game is against a Warlock. I see a Twilight Drake, decide to keep it. Scale Worm in hand as well, good synergy with the Drake. Power Creation, not what we want to see so early. Astromancer, also not what we want to see early. So, does he have... Yes, he does. That's a 1-drop. So this is Zulok. And he's going to aim to overwhelm me quite early, get a wide board going. Shooting Star is pretty cheap. I think it's worth picking. So the question is, can he overwhelm me with threats in this game? My hand is pretty heavy. It's pretty slow. Can he put out enough pressure to overwhelm me? That's the question. Keeping the board clear to the best of our ability here. But we know his ability to refill is substantial. Magic Carpet is really scary because I can't kill it. I can trade a Scale Worm into it, which I think is reasonable. Can't kill it this turn, but maybe I can ping it off next turn. But is that just too slow? Is that just way too slow?
Fails. Try crystal.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Here he goes. Oh. He made 2 trades there. He only needed to make 1 trade. And now I'm starting to feel a little bit more confident about my chances of winning this game.
Shields up.
Was there a reason for making the double trade? I don't believe there was. Must have been a misclick.
Why do you call?
The Twilight Drake represents a bit of pressure for us. Let's see if he decides to trade into it, maybe buff his imp, trade in, or if he just goes all face here. Wow. Double Lackey in hand.
Double time.
Oh dear.
Double pay.
And this board is starting to get out of control. An MC Tech. Does it really do anything here? Oh god. More damage to my face. If we steal a 1-1, we're pretty sad, right? Draw first. Ooh. That's an amazing pickup. That's a really amazing pickup. So we clear 4 minions from the board here with the AoE. And we take out the imp. So I said earlier how this deck can lack AoE. Turns out against a Zoo deck, the Scorcher is pretty good. Even if it's only a 1 damage AoE, it's still pretty good. Yeah, we have to kill the Sea Giant. We cannot leave that on the board. Wow. Duskfallen Aviana. How interesting. Not so much of an advantage for him. Okay, he plays his first card for 0, but that card was cheap anyway. But for me, I get a 0 cost Power of Creation. That is absolutely huge. Okay, so he's just going all out here, filling the board. Let's see what we get from Duskfallen Aviana's Power of Creation. Okay, that's game. Yeah, that's absolutely game.
Engaging TC-130. Mental dislocate.
You win this time.
There's a possibility that he runs one silence effect in his deck, maybe. But yeah, there were 2 big taunts on that board.
The light shall bring victory. Let the games begin.
Okay, final game here against a priest, and this is for rank 5, so there's quite a lot at stake for me here. Book of Spectres has been a tremendous card for me. Quite often I'm able to draw 3 minions comfortably
Someone injured?
that then have some kind of an impact the following turn. And usually I get lucky in that I draw at least 2 or 3 minions. Sometimes you get unlucky. Oh, what's that? Sometimes you get unlucky and you discard a Power of Creation or a Conjurer's Calling. But more often than not, it works out for me. Now in this case, the cards I drew have no impact on this particular turn. But we'll get an impact next turn. Scaleworm will deal with the Northshire Cleric. And from this point out, we have a substantial series of threats that we can put down on the board.
Unity, precision,
Yeah, Ziliax. Well, we can deal with that. We have our own Ziliax. So far, things have been pretty even. Khadgar sitting in hand there. Oh, he stole that. But it doesn't charge. Okay, so there are no dragons in his hand. That's useful information.
primitive.
Not a priest that plays dragons. It's good to know.
We must band together, united for Dalaran.
So, united for Dalaran. What do we get? Useful.
We hear your heart.
Okay.
We hear your heart.
They've all got rush. Fair enough. Oh. Oh, that's pretty scary. Overkill summon 2/1/1 bats. Okay, fair enough. Well, that was eventful. Saiyans? Okay. Saiyans and Shadow-Eyed Pain. So he wants a copy of Khadgar. Interesting. What can he do with Khadgar? What cards is he running that would benefit from Khadgar? Anyway, I don't know how he wins this board back. I mean, Khadgar and Conjurer's Calling played early is just ridiculous, right? Just absolutely ridiculous. Game winning in many ways. In the past, I would save Khadgar for Power of Creation, but now I've realised actually Khadgar and an early Conjurer's Calling, even on a 2 or 3 cost minion, is still huge. Absolutely huge in terms of generating board presence.
The doctor is in.
Okay, I don't know what the hell this guy's playing, but it's just... this game is just over. We don't have lethal. We're reasonably close, though. Question is, do we ignore... No, we trade. We're so far ahead here. Why risk it? Oh, patron. Okay. Sure. Flashbacks to Patron Warrior from back in the day. I mean, this isn't the same patron, but close enough. Yeah. Just dominating board presence early there. And there's rank 5. Okay, so Benice92's Khadgar Mage. Khadgar continues to be one of my favourite cards in the entire game, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. The sheer value that you get from Khadgar and Conjurer's Calling, Khadgar and Astromancer, Khadgar and Power of Creation, it's insane. It really, really is. So, yeah, I've done pretty well with this deck on standard. I've managed to go, I think, from ranks 8 all the way to 5 with some pretty cool win streaks. So if you're looking for a solid deck to ladder with, do consider playing this deck. One thing that you didn't see in this video was my use of Alexstrasza. There was one game in particular where I missed lethal, because if I'd played Alex and put my opponent down to 15, I actually had 15 damage on board, but I completely missed it, and the game went on for another couple of turns, but in the end it was game over. But yeah, it's worth noting that it's easy to forget that Alexstrasza can give you lethals. Sometimes you're so preoccupied with dealing with an opponent's board, dealing with trades, that you just forget that, oh, put your opponent down to 15, smash face, win the game. You forget that that is a viable strategy. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. In our next video, we will be back to wild mode, and we'll be playing a little bit of Q-Block. So until then, take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon.